Perfect.
Very well done for both runners. All right. So after the cutscene, we're now in the Truth and Reconciliation. We're setting up belly skip. We're going to blow up a wraith, clip inside its wing, teleport into the center, get a convenient checkpoint, and then do another teleport, which we call an upwarp, out of bounds and onto a beam above the level. Now going to be switching graphics. Oh, Max was going for gearbox graphics, I'll call it. Not using the new textures that are loaded outside. Using reference points within the level. You're going to see a different method from Sloth here.
So there's about 5 seconds to do it in new graphics.
And that's belly skip. Bunch of out-of-bounds platforming. Very precise, not die to fall damage. And hey, we're at the bottom. We've now activated the Silent Cartographer and achieved the primary objective of this mission. Now we're going to be doing stick stack, which is a beautiful, beautiful trick. You know, we talked about overshields before and grenade jumps. We're taking it to 11 here. Doing a 6 nade jump.
Oh, gonna get the checkpoint.
Holy.
And Maxwell is going for, he's doing double or nothing here with a full overshield. As long as he doesn't get wrecked by these jackals, he's going to be doing triple nade.
And we don't have enough firepower to get through. Cortana to keys.
He is now skipped basically the entire mission. That triple nade is a little bit aggressive. So Maxlu has entered the reveal skip area. I'm not sure what to call it, but if you recall 343 casually, there's a point at which the flood is introduced. We are not going to be doing that. We are in BSP A. BSP is just sort of a level space, binary space partition. We're in A now, and typically we're going to be going to B, and then back to A, then to C and D. But with this trick that we just did, clipping into the second floor, jumping across to another beam, and then jumping through the geometry under a window, we're going from A to the end of A. And we skip the entire reveal of the flood. So as we go down this elevator, it's just gonna be there. No, it's a very appropriately named trick because we take the Banshee out of the level. So we hit the first gen, delaying a checkpoint just a little ways. We should get another checkpoint just as we exit the door, but it's not always guaranteed, and so it's nice to delay that one as long as possible. So now we're going to set up a Banshee just at the edge of this door, barely inside the valid space for this part of the level, so that we can still interact with it. And then we're going to use another Banshee, and we're going to look straight up at the ceiling and attempt to fling ourselves out of the map.
I'm scared to kill myself here. I don't have a checkpoint.
There we are. We've clipped through the ceiling. Now we're going to load the inside again. See that loading done? There is a really good checkpoint. He didn't get the checkpoint before, but now that he's on top and safe, he does get it. Very convenient. And so what we've done by loading the inside area is everything outside that you're seeing now is deloaded. It has no collision. It doesn't behave as we typically expect it to. You're seeing Maxley run in new graphics now. The reason for that is if we were on old graphics, nothing would be visible. All of this would be just a black screen. Carefully, we've now basically finished keys. We need to get into Banshee. That's the final requirement at the level end. These Banshees are interesting. They're flying with the back open. When you get in them, they feel different. Like they accelerate differently, they turn differently, and they can also go through walls.
Perfect. Grab one of the escort bags.
So that's interesting. I've never seen this before. This is so weird. I've never seen them actually get like this far stuck in there.
That's really weird.
I think I might just revert. It's gonna look very silly. Delay our checkpoint a little bit. I'm gonna fire my BR here to alert these drones. And we're gonna use the mechanic of lunging with a melee and canceling that input with a reload input to just fly on those drones. Be the cool deployable cover trick. We're waiting a little bit for a checkpoint, and that's not the angle I wanted. That's the angle I wanted.
Oh yeah. So he's jumping into a DC, and the character collision.
Look at their fun animation of the forward onto dawn coming down from the sky, and trigger it by look at the sky. We can use an audio kit to bring our ghost up here.
A lot of wind. Use it to get out of bounds. Now, if he gets
and we're
in
gonna
his
push our ghost here. Yeah,
it's
there's a couple
like
elastic barriers. Yeah.
He has to push it out with a root shot.
Yeah, there's actually 2 elastic barriers here. The first one we break through by the wind gust of the forward onto dawn. The second one we have to push the ghost out of bounds far enough so where we won't slingshot back in bounds.
Lead the way. If you find any locked doors, Spark will be happy to pry them open.
And we're gonna try and spawn kill it. To do that, we're going to combine a frag and a fear rod jump to get directly to the quarterly.
Even though we get black bars here, there's if you're safe there, you can get a checkpoint. It's hard to know when you get it or not, just because you don't have the visual feedback. But runners have learned that you can get the checkpoint just right there. So I'm gonna throw a distraction grenade on the other side. Hopefully the elites run forward and check it out. Perfectly done. And then a really nice sword fly. That's the first sword fly of the game. Really cool tech. If someone is not familiar with a lot of Halo 2 speedrunning or tricking, sword flying is a glitch where you transfer your red reticle from a ranged weapon to your sword. You cancel the pull-out animation, again with a reload, and you use that red reticle to engage a lunge at a distance that is entirely unreasonable and very cool.
Presence was foretold. That explains
Since clearing up the first gondola here.
It's odd a prophet would have such bad intel.
Oh, I got all 4.
Ooh!
Nice.
That's a clip.
Got all 4 drones with one shot.
He's a gamer.
Where is he? Oh, well, okay, he's...
Oh no!
What happened?
Teleport! Teleport!
That is very uncommon.
That is a GDQ thing. That is GDQ luck.
What happened?
For what we call prison skip. And what prison skip is we skip the prison.
Truth. He has the index. You've got
We do that by getting a brute or any other enemy on our head, typically a brute though. And then we do a button combo where we perform a butterfly, jumping underneath them and then meleeing to lunge at them, and doing that in sequence, in cycles, or repeating it. I'm talking too much. We can go upward, and we're going to hit a trigger to advance the script, and then immediately start going straight back up the lift and skip probably a good 4 to 5 minutes on Legendary. And there it is. You can see he's meleeing a brute butt.
First try, nice.
There we go. First try. That's incredible. In the casual playthrough, you'd be going through a large vehicle section with probably 4 different AI engagements where the separatists are fighting the real Covenant, I suppose. But Bungie made a very, very big end-of-level trigger, and it extends all the way to the top of this ridge here. So we can just hop up on the hill, crouch in this little dark spot, and the level's over.
Can happen on Legendary.
So what we're doing here is bringing a flood to the edge, and once he gets sufficiently far enough away from the fight that he's kind of programmed to be in, his AI stops, and he kind of just becomes a dummy. And we're gonna push him right up to the edge, and we're gonna start butterflying. And it may be hard to see, but Sinister is actually going to be using a complicated mechanism. I don't know how it works yet. I haven't learned this trick, but he's controlling the flight of the flood and the acceleration and slowly dropping at specific points to find his way all the way through the level from the outside. He'll enter the end of level trigger volume.
Yeah, so pretty much,
And the mission's over.
pretty much if you play the level casually, or if you have played the level casually, you might remember that like you're pretty much going up the tower, but the end of the platform is actually below where you start out, because as you're going up the tower, the level is just constantly teleporting you back down and loading in a new area.
Sinister switched graphics there because it helps you line up the ending just a little bit better, gives you more information about where you are. And there it is. White screen means done. Because we don't want these guys to mess with us. And here is just the random specter in the back of the room. We're now going to be waiting for Johnson to get in the back, then he's going to get him out, and then kind of do a strange pinch right here up against the wall, and then stay there. After a little while, some shenanigans will occur. Because Johnson is kind of like not where he belongs when he's in this vehicle, and so they try to respawn him as if he fell off the map.
Hello? Oh, there we go.
And now we have 3 Johnsons.
It's kind of like an open world game. You have a hub world in which you carry over your weapons from one streets mission to the next. And if you run out of ammo on one of the weapons, the game will give you a full loadout for the next one. And we see Adzi going for truck launch in full game here, gets an amazing launch, and Zero's going for the same thing. So they're using 3 grenades to manipulate a Warthog, and Zero gets a second try launch. Really nice Tayari start for both, right? And you can basically ride on it and make it accelerate just by standing on it, but they're not going for it. It's quite risky. You have to set it up, and you need to use an aid to set it up as well. Oh, Zero's going for the pressure launch! Mad lad, and he gets a really nice one. Holy, I did not expect that.
That's like perfect. That's perfect for this kind of run.
So he was able to, that's a pressure launch. You wedge yourself into the geometry and then it pushes you out. Really nice by Zero. Unfortunately,
It's litter.
coming up to a launch we call D-launch here. Probably the biggest vertical launch in the ODST game. So we're gonna pre-fire some brute shots on this barricade. Not many people know this, but when these barricades explode, the explosion actually launches you. So we're gonna combine that with a grenade, a brute shot, all blows up at the same time, gets us up. Unfortunately, Adzi didn't quite have the height. He tried to get some extra height with another brute shot and it finished him off. But he's delayed the checkpoint. Zero's on to the next area. Now there'll be a difference in strats here. Zero, you're gonna go for the box launch?
I am, yeah. I feel like I have to now after that.
Yeah.
Luckily you didn't screw up the box.
Wow.
Oh, that's a good point actually.
I think I got
So
no
Zero's going to
no plasmas.
push Dare into a corner so that she can't progress. Going to push Virgil up as well. So they're now stuck in this room. And that's important because later on we're going to teleport the forward. But what we need to do is get to the end of this area fast enough where we can actually make it think that we've arrived and killed all the enemies. So he's going to do the only box launch in the ODST speedrun. And if he's fast enough, that looks good. And the doors open without having to clear the enemies. The mission. Coastal highway, off the highway. He's gonna need.
We only use about 10%
Warthogs.
of the highway.
It's like the highway is lava percent.
Okay,
It's the
that's
key
really
first
good.
launch.
That's really
Wants
good.
to send it all the way, and he does. Like, flies way off into the distance. Really nice. He won't have to correct that at all. But now he needs to get himself out of bounds, and to do that, he needs to get another hog out of bounds and ride it. See Adzi now onto the highway.
That cost me a lot of time.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
But, you know, this launch is really where the run is going to be decided. Zero is lining up perfectly.
There is also
This
some
launch-
driving too that could decide it, to be fair.
Yeah. He's delaying a checkpoint perfectly so we can try the second launch as many times as possible. So he needs to land
I can't-
upright.
Uh-oh.
And there's a
Yeah.
kill barrier. Oh, he falls into the kill barrier. Very unlucky. He's going to go for it again. Meanwhile, Adzi lining up his first launch. Looking for some grenades. He wants the enemies to come to him. And it looks like Zero with the second try. He's driving up through the elastic barrier, gets himself out.
Wish
Now
I
he's
could
going
do
to
that on
go.
my world record paces.
He's going to go to that hog he launched up earlier. Meanwhile, Adzi launching his first hog, using that SMG. Is it going to fall off the edge?
Oh, almost. It was a close one.
So I actually have to be careful with this wave. If I kill any of the enemies too soon, kind of like NMPD, it'll actually soft lock, so I have to wait until all of them hit the ground. And I just gave it.
Oh, no! A lifeline for Adzi. An enemy drops.
What just happened?
Zero fired a rocket and an enemy dropped right in front of him. After he's like, yeah, I'll wait for them all to hit the ground.
It was a
And
body.
one
It was a
hadn't hit
body
the
of a
ground yet.
jackal that I rocketed. It jumped in.
Wait, really?
Oh my god! Yeah, it was a body of a jackal.
How long was the
I
rework?
need to see the replay to believe it.